Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the brand new limited edition Adidas Predator Instinct Accelerator. Now inside the box, all you get are the shoes themselves. They do not come with any extras. So let me get these out of the box really quickly. And if you guys could take a second to leave a like on the video, it would be greatly appreciated. So here is a look at the Revenge Pack Predator Instinct Accelerator. If you're not familiar with the Revenge Pack, Adidas is essentially going back and making modern remakes of some of the classic Predator models that came out over the years. The first one was the Predator Instinct 94. If you guys missed that one, I'll leave an annotation on screen to my review of that particular shoe. The second one is now the Predator Accelerator, which originally came out in 1998. So I would have been 5 years old. I don't have a lot of recollection of this shoe. I know I have seen an original pair in person. It's a very distinctive looking Predator model and a lot of people's favorites. And I can definitely understand why. It's definitely a cool looking shoe. And obviously in the form of a Predator Instinct, it's similar looking, but a lot of the elements are completely different, some of which we'll talk about in today's video. Now, as far as availability is concerned, these came out earlier in the week and sold out pretty much the day of their release. There was no numbers specified from Adidas. I know with the original Predator Instinct 94 of the Revenge Pack, they specified 1,850 pairs worldwide, so I would expect a very similar number for this particular release. Like I said though, they sold out instantly, so I won't have any links to buy them on the review page in my website like I normally do. If you really want a pair, eBay is your best bet, but be warned, expect to pay well over retail price for a pair. Now, as far as if you are interested in perhaps picking up future limited edition releases, because I know a lot of you guys probably didn't want to miss out on this, but did because you just didn't know they were available yet, be sure to follow me on any of the forms of social media that you can find linked down below in the description. Anytime something like this becomes available, the second it's available, I post links and share it with you guys so you have the best opportunity possible to pick up some of these extremely limited releases from Adidas, Nike, whatever brand it may be. So again, be sure to follow me on those forms of social media if you don't already. If you guys missed my video on the original Predator Instinct 94, I'll leave an annotation to that on screen. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. To start things off, let's take a detailed look at the colorway and some of the elements that Adidas has incorporated on this remake of the 1998 Predator Accelerator. Now the colorway is pretty straightforward. It's that classic combination of black, white, and red that the Predator series made famous. Now, unlike the original Predator Accelerator, which normally would have been leather, because this is a modern remake, it features 100% synthetic hybrid touch upper. Now, in order to kind of get that visual effect that the Predator Accelerator had, where there was tons and tons of overlapping leather pieces, they did a little bit of embossing here in the upper, which actually looks pretty good. It does pop in person. The embossed areas are kind of finished off with a type of shiny material that again kind of gives it more of a 3D effect in person, at least from a distance anyways. When you're up close, you can definitely tell it's just one piece. But again, it kind of has that effect where the actual stripes are stitched onto the upper, even though they're not. And again, it gives it more of an old school vibe, even though it is, like I said, a modern remake, 100% synthetic, and pretty far from the original as far as performance and feel is concerned. Now, a distinctive element of course, the Predator Accelerator are the three Adidas stripes on both the lateral and medial side. They're very wide. They have a bit of a curve to them. They're on a kind of an unusual angle for an Adidas model, at least in their soccer line. And again, it has a very distinctive look. And even though the base is completely different on this version in comparison to the original Accelerator, I think that the overall visual effect that you get is, like I said, very, very similar to the original Predator Accelerator, which to me is pretty impressive and all you can really ask for from a model like this from Adidas. I'm really, really happy with how it looks. Now, something that again is signature of the Predator Accelerator is the old school Adidas equipment logo right here on the heel, which I thought was pretty cool. You're also going to find your white Adidas branding on the flap tongue, as well as that Adidas equipment logo one more time on the underside of the flap tongue. Now, as far as your red accent color is concerned, hopefully you guys can tell in the video, and it's something that really surprised me when I saw the shoe in person, is that it's much more of an orange color as opposed to a red. Now, just to give you guys an idea of what I'm talking about, here is the black and infrared colorway of the current Predator Instinct, and hopefully side by side you can see a bit of a difference here. This obviously does have some orangish shades in it as well, closer to the toe, but as you get more into the midfoot, you can see that there is definitely red in comparison to orange. And again, I'm not sure if that is on purpose. I'm not 100% sure if the original Predator Accelerator would have featured more of an orange color as opposed to a red. I would guess that it was more red as opposed to orange, but again, I'm not 100% sure on that. Just something I thought was worth mentioning if you were planning on getting a pair of these or perhaps still have your pair on the way. So you're going to find that reddish orange color in the tongue with that same 2014 logo that you're going to find on all the Predator Instincts as well. The tongue does fold over, but they're not perfect. They don't really stay down. You can see this one stays down pretty well, whereas this one kind of stays up. It's not really something you can fix right away. If you put an elastic there and kind of held it in place for several days, it probably would kind of help it to stay down a little bit more, and it is something that I will do once I'm done this video. But like I said, if you were planning on wearing these, you do have this big flap tongue. It's relatively thick and probably not something that a lot of people are actually going to like as far as performance is concerned. Of course, on the original, it would have been leather, so for that reason, it would have been more manageable and perhaps more pliable as well. But here, it's more of a visual effect as opposed to something that has to do with performance or is even going to benefit the performance of the shoe. You have that little kind of zigzag pattern here running through both the lateral and medial side of the shoe, of course, in that red color, and then red bordering the outside of the heel and ankle area as well. You can see it does have that different cut, more of an old traditional cut to the Predator, which would have been featured on the Accelerator versus what we get on the Predator Instinct. You can see this one has more of a rounded back, whereas this one is kind of more of a square back, which I thought was pretty cool. Still has the internal heel counter. And then moving on to the sole plate, you can see it is the control frame from the current modern Predator Instinct, but it has that kind of translucent vibe. So it's like a translucent color, or translucent with like a reddish tinge to it, and they have that little pattern on the underside there just to give it the visual effect of the original Predator Accelerator, even though the stud pattern in sole plate is nothing like we got from the Predator in 1998. Then of course you have the white studs in the heel and then the clear red studs in the forefoot. As far as visual effect is concerned, I really give Adidas an A+ on this particular remake. I think that the Predator Accelerator model really translates well into this particular shoe. You can see you have all of the right Predator elements on there that are kind of glued on the surface of the upper. Very, very cool. Has that nice visual effect. And really from a distance, you'd have a hard time telling apart an original Predator Accelerator to the remade version, which is really, like I said, all you can ask for from this type of a release from Adidas. So that's pretty much it as far as the colorway is concerned. Leave your opinions down below in the comments. What do you think of the looks of this shoe? Do you think there's something that they could have done a little bit better? And if not, what do you think of it? I'm very curious because this is something that I really want these brands, including Adidas, including Nike, including Puma, to push for some of these remade models. I think it's something that there definitely is a market for, and I'd be curious to hear what your opinions are on stuff like this. Do you like it? Do you want to see more? Or is it something that really doesn't interest you and it's kind of overpriced, more of a collector's item? Your opinions are appreciated. Leave them down below. And with that being said, let's move on to some of the tech specs as far as performance is concerned. As far as performance is concerned, while it might not have necessarily been intended as a performance shoe, the Predator Accelerator Instinct actually has a lot to offer. Now, unlike the original, which would have been all leather, this features an all hybrid touch synthetic upper, similar to what we get on the top-end Predator Instinct, which is the current Predator model. It's on the thinner side, but it's soft enough and provides a slight amount of cushion that gives it that leather-like sensation, especially once broken in. So again, in terms of touch, you're going to get a nice, comfortable, soft yet thin feel from the Hybrid Touch upper on this particular shoe. And then as far as the Predator zones themselves are concerned, they're all made from rubber. They're relatively thick, as you can see. They're glued onto the surface, and they're scattered across pretty much the entire forefoot, the strike zone, as well as the midfoot here on the medial side. So you are going to get that additional grip, similar to what you would get on the current Predator Instinct, but perhaps not as aggressive. But again, if you're looking for that classic Predator vibe, perhaps you're a really big fan of the Accelerator, haven't been able to get a pair up until now, this is definitely a shoe that you could probably consider wearing. You can see that the lacing system is kind of off-centered towards the bottom, and then as you get to the top, it becomes more and more central. So again, it's not really kind of pushing the laces out of the way or anything like that. And then you have this big flap tongue, which, like I mentioned, is on the bulky side. You can see it is relatively thick. It's as thick as the rest of the upper, and it kind of has a hard time staying down. You could, of course, wear it up, which I think looks a little bit goofy, and when you wear it down, it definitely adds a significant amount of extra bulk to the top of the foot. That would bother me personally, But again, if you really want that classic Predator vibe, you want to be really, really unique out there on the field, something like this will definitely do that for you. And like I said, while it's a remake of an older shoe from 1998, it has all of those modern Predator elements that makes this a very, very wearable and capable performance shoe. You have pretty much a very similar cut in the rear portion and ankle collar area as the current Predator Instinct, so you're not going to have any major issues there. The heel liner is all synthetic suede as opposed to having that Velcro feature that you would find on the standard Predator Instinct. You also have synthetic suede lining the underside of the tongue. The insole is fully removable. I'll kind of take that out for you guys really quickly here. And it is just pretty much a standard Predator Instinct insole, all black in color, your Predator branding right there, mesh liner on top, and then just your standard one layer of this black foam. Nothing too fancy, but it definitely does get the job done. You do have that internal plastic heel counter like I mentioned. And then moving on to the outsole, it is pretty much the exact same control frame sole plate that you're going to find on the standard Predator Instinct. It's made from a thicker, more flexible plastic. I'm a big fan of it. It's not as light as the Sprint frame that we got from the LZ models, but it definitely does perform the part. And of course you get that triangular stud pattern from Adidas, which isn't my personal favorite, but there's no denying that it definitely does get the job done as far as traction is concerned. And again, I think that the combination of classic and modern elements in this Predator remake really makes it a unique option, not only in terms of collector's item, but also in terms of the performance benefits that it has to offer. This is not a shoe that I'm going to be wearing, but it's one that I really would want to wear just to see how it would feel, even though I think it is going to be very similar to the current Predator Instinct just because it shares so many of the same elements. So that's pretty much it as far as performance is concerned. And move on next to a quick weigh-in so we can see how lightweight these guys are. In terms of weight, these are very similar to the Predator Instinct for the simple fact that it is essentially a Predator Instinct. So I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 9.5 US. We're going to throw it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 9.8 ounces, which is essentially is the exact same weight as, like I said, the current Predator Instinct. No major surprises there. It's not the lightest model around, but again, I don't think a lot of people are buying these shoes as shoes that they're actually going to wear. It's more of a collector's item, but again, if you wanted to wear it, it's very capable as far as performance is concerned, and it certainly isn't going to weigh you down. It's just going to offer more of a solid feel. So that's pretty much it as far as the weigh-in portion of the video goes, and move on next to a quick on feet so you can get a better idea as to how these shoes fit, and of course what the sizing is like. Alright, here's a look at the Predator Instinct accelerators on feet. And something that I really like about this model versus the Predator 94 model is with the 94s you can definitely tell that it's a modern remake. It's just not the same as the original. And while the Predator Accelerator remake is very far from the original as well, at a quick glance, these definitely look like the originals, which I think is absolutely fantastic. Adidas did a great job with the visuals on this particular shoe. And again, if you're looking to stand out, if you're looking to have something that nobody else has, one of these Revenge Pack releases is definitely going to do that for you. As far as having that wow factor without your shoes being bright pink or something like that. In terms of comfort and fit, they're very similar to a standard Predator Instinct. It's built on, of course, the exact same base, so there shouldn't be too many surprises there. It's an all-over hybrid touch synthetic upper, and again, it's just really, really comfortable from right out of the box. Not going to be much break-in time required, but again, if you choose to wear them, give them a couple hours to wear in, and they'll soften up even more and feel more comfortable than they already do from right out of the box. As far as width goes, again, very similar to a standard Predator Instinct. It's going to be suitable for most foot types, just as long as you don't have excessively wide feet, and you will get some very minor stretch out of the hybrid touch synthetic as well. As far as sizing goes, the reason why I have a 9.5 US as opposed to my usual 9 is just because 9.5 was the only size I was able to get my hands on. So they do run true to size, just like a standard Predator Instinct. Normally I would wear a 9. These ones are a 9.5. They fit pretty well. There is a little bit of extra space at the toe because they are half size larger than I would normally wear. But again, it's more of a collector's item. It's something that I really wanted to have. And even if they are half size larger than my normal size, I guess I can live with it. So again, if you are looking to order a pair, or if you did order a pair, just know that they run true to size, just like the standard Predator Instincts. So that's pretty much it as far as the on-feet portion of the video is concerned, and I'll leave you to my final thoughts. Alright guys, that's it for my review of the Adidas Predator Instinct Accelerator. I'm a really big fan of the Revenge Pack. I think that these remade Predator models look fantastic, and I'm excited about the next one. It's a concept that I think these companies should definitely continue to run with, whether it be Adidas, Nike, or Puma. It's something that I really feel strongly about, and I think that there definitely is a market for stuff like this. It really shows the history of these brands and how far they've come, because the Predator Accelerator is definitely very different from the current Predator model, and it really hasn't been all that long. Soccer shoes have evolved extremely quickly, and models like this really show that. So that is pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions at all, be sure to leave them down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Like I mentioned, there aren't going to be any buy it now links for this shoe just because they sold out pretty much instantly, but if you do want to check out the review page on my website, you will find the high quality images of this shoe that give you a better idea as to some of the close-up details that you might not necessarily see in the online stock photos. Other than that though, guys, if you aren't subscribed already, be sure to hit that subscribe button for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information linked down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.